Moving the President of the United States from one location to another is a logistical nightmare that happens every single day. The American president is one of the most powerful persons in the world, and there is no time when the president is more exposed than when they're in transport. 2 of the 4 successful assassinations of American presidents were when they were traveling, Garfield and Kennedy. For that reason, the Secret Service devotes an enormous amount of resources to ensuring the president gets from one place to another safely. The presidential motorcade is perhaps the most impressive method of transportation. It includes up to 40 or 50 vehicles and over 100 people. Let's take a look at some footage of a motorcade. This is the lead car, or in this case, motorcycle. As the name suggests, its job is to lead the motorcade, but it's not actually the first vehicle. What we don't see here is the route car, which would have come through about 5 minutes before the lead car. The route car is always followed by about 20 or 30 motorcycles which play the essential role of clearing the route of cars. When driving on a highway, they'll speed ahead and close exits so that no cars can come on the highway, although they have to use a different technique in cities. When driving in DC, where other drivers are used to frequent motorcades, the motorcycles often drive in a V pattern, pushing cars to the side to clear the way for the motorcade. This leads to a disruption of only about 2 or 3 minutes. Outside of DC, drivers are less used to motorcades, so the motorcycles will typically completely block off the intersecting streets to create one continuous clear path for the president. The entire first section of the motorcade isn't actually run by the Secret Service. It's run by the local police jurisdiction of wherever the president is. The fewer Secret Service cars and individuals needed for motorcades, the better, since both the cars and agents need to travel to wherever the president is visiting in advance, which is, of course, incredibly expensive. The next part of the motorcade is what's known as the secure package. It's the essential core to the motorcade because it's the group of cars that directly secures the president. In case of attack, this group of cars can detach from the rest of the motorcade and function as an independent unit. The most important car in the secure package is the president's limo, but one can never be sure which one that is, because there are always 2 limos. These 2 limos are identical. They even have the same license plate. That way, an attacker can't, for example, have a spotter tell them which car the president left their origin in. The limos themselves are no ordinary limos. They weigh between 15,000 and 20,000 pounds and are built on a modified truck bed. The entire car is bulletproof, including 5-inch thick bulletproof windows. The only window that can open is the driver's window, reportedly so they can pay tolls. The entire car is hermetically sealed to protect the president from a chemical attack, and on board are rocket-powered grenades, night vision optics, a tear gas cannon, pump-action shotguns, bottled oxygen, and 2 pints of the president's blood type. This car, leading the secure package, is the United States Secret Service Electronic Countermeasures Suburban. It leads the secure package because its purpose is to jam any remote-activated explosives along the route. These 2 tall antennas do that by sending out a huge range of radio frequencies that would block any bomb activation signal. The 2 domes on top of the car are most likely what's known as electronic warfare sensors. They're essentially radars that can detect when a rocket-propelled grenade or anti-tank guided missile is launched. When it detects a launch, the car would most likely activate a number of smoke grenades spread out throughout the secure package, which would help throw off the grenade or missile. But of course this is all classified, so that's speculation. This car is the control car. It carries the most essential staff, like the president's military aide and doctor. In the event of an attack, they're both essential to the president, so they break off with the secure package. These last 2 cars are both filled with Secret Service agents. The closer one is called the halfback. It carries the president's personal Secret Service detail. These are the agents that are on the president's person at all times. The second one is the cat car, the counter-assault team. You can always identify these cars since they're the ones with a back window open. That's because the agents are sitting in rear-facing seats with automatic weapons, ready to respond to threats. While it's hard to see, you can just make out the counter-assault team in this car in black battle dress uniforms and the president's Secret Service detail in this car in coat and tie. In the event of an attack, the president's Secret Service detail is in charge of shielding and evacuating the president, while the counter-assault team would generally stay and repel the attack. These vans, following the secure package, are full of the press pool reporting on the president. This car is called the ID car, and the Secret Service agents inside are the ones that communicate with outside counter-surveillance teams that proactively identify any threat to the motorcade. This black truck is the Hazardous Materials Mitigation Unit. It has equipment and personnel who can identify and respond to chemical, nuclear, or biological attacks on the motorcade. Continuing on, you can see more press vans. These motorcycles are speeding by the side because, now that the motorcade has passed the exit that they were blocking off, they are going to the front of the motorcade to block off more exits. This car is called the Roadrunner. It has a number of antennae on the top to act as a mobile communication center. It connects the motorcade to the outside world through satellite and internet communication systems. Following this is a generic ambulance in case of injury to any person in the motorcade. Like the police officers at the front of the motorcade, this ambulance just comes from the local fire department of wherever the president is. This last Secret Service car is the support car, which carries more Secret Service agents and the essential staff members. Lastly, these 3 police cars are there to make sure that, now that the exits are open again, no car speeds up and enters the motorcade from behind. It's important to note that this is just the standard motorcade configuration. It often changes based on the environment. When President Obama visited Iraq in 2009, for example, his motorcade looked like this. Military Humvees led a convoy of identical Suburbans, one of which carried the president. On top of the cars were more powerful versions of the anti-RPG antenna found on the normal electronic countermeasures Suburban.
离视频客户端全新上线。